And welcome everyone back to the Platinum Division here at Overdrive. We are in week number 5. I am once again Primus alongside McBree. How are we doing tonight?
We're doing good. I'm excited to see this. First time here for the Platinum League, and excited to be here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this game well and truly plays out. I actually had the pleasure of casting BDSM last week, and they had a very surprising performance up against Illumination Gaming, which was 7-1, I believe, going into their game last week before taking the loss to BDSM. So this is definitely a team we should be keeping our eye on as we're getting towards the end of the season.
Yeah, and I mean, coming off of their win just now against Illumination, it's looking very strong for them. So hopefully they can keep this kind of momentum from tonight and keep on rocketing towards the top.
Yeah, nothing too unexpected in terms of the ban phase right now, really trying to pigeonhole this mid lane pick. I know we talked a little bit about the gloriousness of mid lane smite talent off stream, but I don't know if we'll actually see that getting pulled out by either of our mid laners tonight, but just seeing the mid lane bans made me think.
I mean, I haven't, from scouring their OPGGs, I haven't seen any of them maybe try out some of the Aatrox, or I've seen a little bit of that Echo mid with Smite, so we might be able to see one of these two mid laners pull it out, but I don't think we're going to maybe see something like that, some of that Smite mid action, early level 2.
Yeah, I'm probably just going to see much more standard gameplay coming out here. We're seeing Zoe, Zed, and Yasuo being taken away by BrainStorm Gaming, which is on the blue side for you guys here, and then Graves and Twitch being taken so far off the table. I find it interesting that we're seeing Twitch being taken away, considering how far he is pretty much considered out of the meta as Brand rounds out our first round of bans.
Yeah, I mean, we used to see this actually in LPO where they used to take Twitch into Lucian. Obviously, Lucian would win that lane, but if you have if you have a really good AD carry player or even a jungler player, if they have really great positioning, that's all you need for a Twitch to basically run away with a team fight, and they're maybe looking to take away from that as it looks like maybe Unstable or Rabbit and Turtle are really great team fighting AD carries.
I do want to say that they are actually not in LCS order for BrainStorm, because I asked them before game. It's one of my personal pet peeves as a caster, but we moved past it. It's fine. I'm not going to see anything.
It was actually changed because, the whole meta shift, and they didn't want to force teams into, having to pick in LC or be in LCS order, as it just didn't make sense with all the roster changes and people moving around.
Yeah, like it's just personal preference, so it's easier for me to digest where everything's going. But something I do want to talk about is Aerolite picking up the Fizz for Examon in the mid lane. It is a signature champion in the mid lane, has, I believe, 69 games on it. Doesn't have the greatest of win rates, but anytime you can get a big comfort pick in this meta and this elo is always a very good choice.
Yeah, especially with picking such a champion like Fizz, even the pre-work that's on the PvE right now, Fizz just in general, getting a couple of buffs actually, and there we go. I mean, you see the Aatrox being picked up there, so...
we still don't know if it's gonna be mid smite Aatrox. It just might be top lane Aatrox.
Well,
our horses on it.
I don't want to say that it's going to be top because we do see already the Lucian and Swain already being picked here for the side of BrainStorm. So I mean, unless they're going to be putting Swain in the mid lane with smite, picking up the Runic Echoes, I don't see that. But Aatrox into Fizz as a melee matchup, that should be very, very strong for the side of BrainStorm. So I'm very interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, on paper it would be a good matchup for the Aatrox. Something you do need to keep in mind, though, is the fact of the matter is that Swain's really not meta up in that top lane because there's things like the Mundo running rampant up there, and Swain isn't the greatest at killing tanks, let's say that.
Maybe we see, Huni special, you see the Lucian being taken top lane. I'd be definitely some super exciting stuff to see.
Hey, sugar and spice makes everything nice here. So we're seeing a Xin Zhao and a Zyra being picked up by BDSM. That's a lot of laning power going down to that bottom lane and the jungle position that they're picking up here. But there's still a lack of consistent damage really coming in, as well as a front line so far for BDSM. So I'm probably going to be looking to see them pick that up in their next rotation. I mentioned the Mundo. Is there anything else you could see them picking up here to round out their composition?
Well, just looking at their team comp, looking at BDSM, they have a lot of engage. I mean, you have the Fizz with his Chum the Waters. You have Zinzawa, obviously, his entire kit is just going in, and Zyra. Something like the Kaisa would definitely fit the overall theme of being able to go in with a killer instinct, but I'm definitely looking for someone that might be able to peel away or even engage from a really long range. Something like the Ashe does help with that, with the disengage, but we're going to switch back to the Kaisa. Maybe we see maybe an Ornn top lane, as that kind of Call of the Forge God can definitely be used as a disengage, though more so as a long range engagement tool.
It's still a strong pick, because the thing is like that's a whole screen essentially of lockdown AoE that either the slow, and then if you get the additional knockup afterward, like it's really easy to buy. Hold up.
Oh,
is this Aatrox jungle?
Ooh, okay.
That's my guess, is that it's Aatrox jungle, considering we're seeing the
Alright, yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna just have to wait for it to...
It's Swain support, maybe. That's like the most logical thing I can think of, is Swain support.
I mean, obviously it's a caster mage, and...
Because I don't think Aurelion Sol makes much sense as a support. I think you really would want him in the middle lane here.
You could try the Aatrox jungle, as I mean, we already see it smite mid, and he has really great clear against something like, chickens and all that, but for right now, it's looking like they might be sending the Aatrox top lane by itself, and we see the Aurelion Sol mid lane, and then, yeah, like you were saying, it's going to be a Lucian Swain.
At least that's my guess. It could theoretically be an Aurelion Sol support. I just think Swain makes a little bit more sense in that support role. While on the other side, we see Maokai rounding out the team composition for the side of BDSM. And I just have to say that on paper, I have to favor BDSM. But anytime there is an Aatrox in the game, like, you pretty much sack your top lane for the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, so we're going to have to definitely see how BrainStorm's going to play around unstable on the Aatrox. If Aatrox is able to get a lead, shut this Maokai down early, even though, regardless, it is a tank, late game scaling, yada yada. A lot of damage on the side of BrainStorm, and their team fight's not looking too bad. I mean, you have Aurelion Sol being able to poke out a lot of these players with the stars, and being able to disengage using the Voice of Light, or his ultimate, sorry. Being able to push away someone like the Fizz and the Xin Zhao is going to be super important to see how they play in team fights.
Yeah, I would have to say BrainStorm definitely has a lot more zone control within their composition, given Aatrox triple Q, Swain pullback, and E plus his ultimate, Lucian with all of his dashes, Warwick with his ultimate, and then of course Aurelion Sol, that it might be able to control like those neutral objective areas, things like Baron, things like Dragon, extremely effectively with the amount of AoE, because when you look at the other side, really the only AoE that's coming out from the side of BDSM is coming from their support.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much everyone else is single target. Yes, I do understand Maokai has no AoE ultimate, but it's not AoE damage.
Yeah, especially, they're going to be focusing, they're going to try and probably focus this Swain, or even the Aurelion Sols. They're both really mobile carries, and you're going to have to try and pop them before someone like the Lucian or the Aatrox get into team fights and are able to pop something like the World Ender or the Culling, which provides a lot of damage for team fights and in single target. So, again, I would agree with you in saying that BDSM has a large advantage. They're more of a traditional style. We do see a marksman down there, but we do see I should say more traditional team comp. We don't see a Swain down there, but I'm really scared for how BrainStorm's going to get this early game rolling.
Yeah, I would have to favor BrainStorm levels about 1 through 9. Mm-hmm. I would say that's kind of their biggest zone of power, because you can have in your head on this Aurelion Sol, which I'm assuming is going to be going into the mid lane, roaming up to Unstable's lane up at the top lane, snowballing that Aatrox out of control, bring Ruhi, I think Ruhi. Ruhi is going to be the pronunciation I'm going with. Again, I should probably double check with these, but I digress. Looking to gank up in that top lane and put Maokai behind. And as a former top lane player, nothing feels worse than you're like 0-3 on Maokai with like 20 CS at 10 minutes. You're just like, guys, I can't do anything.
Yeah, your team. You're playing Maokai. Most of the time, your team's already gonna abandon you and be like, yo, honestly, just farm for late, get corrupting potion, do what you can, get a Doran shield, like, just survive top lane, but like, just soak experience. That's all you need to do. So, I think if BrainStorm can correctly navigate through the first 15 to 20 minutes of the game, get that early snowball either in the top side or even get your bot lane rolling where you can get the Swain and the Solution to be teamfight monsters, I think BrainStorm can run away. But BDSM, with the Xin Zhao especially, can apply a lot of early pressure.
Yeah, because I don't really know exactly how the early game skirmishes go between Warwick and Xin Zhao, just because I don't really see them often matched up against each other. So I'm not entirely sure which the early game skirmishes generally favors. I know generally most early game skirmishes favor the Xin Zhao, but with the Warwick fear plus his attack speed as this target gets lower, as he gets lower, it's really unsure on how these skirmishes. Plus, he's going the Predator.
Interesting. He wants to get around the map a lot faster, so it is kind of it's really scary to see a Warwick use infinite duress from about 3.5 screens away, and he hits you with ultimate because he blinks into you. But yeah, the Predator just helps him with that early ganking. About the 10-15 minute mark, which is where we're looking for them to pop off. So, it is a little bit unconventional. You typically see something like a press the attack, or basically press the attack, for at least from my stance. But the Xin Zhao should have a good advantage early. As long as he's able to dodge the Warwick fear, it should be a pretty easy matchup for him. It also would depend on who gets skirmishing Saber first, basically.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
So, we are going to be into this game. This is BrainStorm Gaming versus BDSM. If you're a certain fan of these teams, go ahead, show some love. If you think one of these team comp is superior, go ahead, pull it up. And I think actually this is gonna be first blood for the side of BrainStorm Gaming. Already off to a great start. Ignite down from Woodwork. Seems like we lost Primus there. Hopefully he'll be back soon. But the Ignite already going down. That's pretty quick already, and that's a pretty good lead. It only is on to X-Homie. No summoners wasted, so great patience from these people over on BDSM. It is going to be a little bit of a mental, affecting mental. Then, welcome back. First blood Woodwork.
Yeah. My mic just had a minor little bit of issues. But I do want to talk about Avery on the Xin Zhao. He played it to great effect last week, had so many great gank opportunities set up here. Though, considering the fact that Homie decided he was in love with Unwarded Bushes at level 1. Food for thought, people, don't face check Bushes level 1.
Against a Swain Lucian. But no
against
summoner
anyone.
First blood, is typically like it's like a mental boom for some people. They see first blood and they're like, oh, guess what? Got a FF. But, you did waste the Ignite there with no summoners being wasted on the side of BDSM. So, I don't know how much this is worth. Obviously, you do get an assist onto Rabbit and a kill onto Woodwork, but I don't. I would wait to see how much this first blood has an impact.
Considering the fact that Woodwork just went back and bought boots, I don't think it's going to be a tremendous impact in the lane. It'll give him a little bit of ease in terms of dodging the Zyra skill shots. That's going to be kind of like the biggest thing. It's just that extra little bit of mobility to dodge around Zyra. We're going to have a little bit of trade in the mid lane. Flash being burned by X1 lane, going in a little bit too aggressive on In Your Head, who didn't have any mana, but does have to bullet Flash. But we do have a little bit of a trade down in the bottom lane, but doesn't look like anything too massive is going to move. Aerolite is not having fun at the top lane. Oh, the joys of Aatrox in the laning phase.
Yeah. Great job already. This early aggression from Ruhi, already going from mid all the way to top lane. Inherhead actually has no mana here.
Yeah, good play by Examon punishing the fact that Inherhead doesn't have the mana, but we do have Avery rotating down in the bottom lane. Root and heal, but no, the flash auto coming in from Single secures the kill. Unstable taking a couple turret shots, falling extremely low on the back side here. So 1 for 0 across the map here. So well played coming in from both teams. Ooh, but we do have a turret dive. Airlight, can he get the W? No, he cannot. He gets instantly feared.
Did you see him bounce outside of the map? Yeah, great job from Ruhi already, and Admiral Avery getting both of the summoners down bot lane and still getting the kill onto Rabbit, even though I Am Single did pick it up. It's a lot of summoners blown bot lane. Both supports do have their Ignite again.
Yeah, so that does give a little bit more kill threat down in this bottom lane, especially onto Woodwork and Rabbit, considering neither of them have Flash. As Zyra Roots land, Rui has rotated in the mid lane. Oh, but the burst is massive coming in from Exmon. Turret shot is not going to be able to secure the kill, but Ignite will. Avery rotating up to the top lane gets a kill back, but minions too OP in the mid lane for Examon as he gives the kill back to In Your Head, but In Your Head did use both summoners.
Yeah, and that's also blue buff being transferred, so either, I mean, if you guys want to say it was a misplay or an incredible outplay from Ruhi, he wanted to transfer blue buff, early blue buff to his mid laner, 1000 IQ. I'm personally a huge fan of taking Corrupting Potion on something like an Aurelion Soul. You get a lot of mana, you can do a lot of poke, especially if you take something like Time Work Tonic. One of the few champions that actually use Time Work Tonic. I love that mastery, but...
I feel like it's just him and Sage that used it.
Yes. You can also use it, I think, on... I mean, it was also broken on Singe from an interaction standpoint, because it used to actually affect your ultimate.
Ooh, Avery has rotated back up to this top lane, but Unsable is close enough to the tower, should be able to get away here. But going off that whole corrupting pot, Doohickey, as we're going to see a massive trade onto Aerolite. Aerolite is going to be able to get the disengage E-Dash coming in, trying to get into range. One more Q should secure the kill. Twisted Advance not going to be able to keep him alive. It is going to fall in the 1v1 going in onto Avery. Unstable pops that World Ender, is going to be so tanky, as apparently mid lane is far more interacting than Unstable, getting the 2v1 outplay up in that top lane. So despite that early gank up in that top lane from Avery, the power of the Aatrox is just insurmountable.
Uh-oh, bot lane though.
So a lot of trading going on in Iron Single. Ignite is being dropped. Minions autos not quite enough to secure the kill onto Woodwork. It's a little too far forward. We do see the Earth Drake falling on the back side here. So it's just action early on in the game.
Oh, and already a 4.
Oh, but we have a dive onto Homium. Homium immediately being taken off the map. Ruby is under tower. Is going to trade back a kill, though, for it. Don't know if that's worth giving a kill over to a Kaisa.
Yeah, as I already see, BrainStorm already taking a large part of this early game away from BDSM. And great job from Ruhi and In Your Head to, using the Aurelion Soul to your advantage, wanting to get that shove mid lane, and then immediately looking to roam across the other lanes. And Unstable as well, doing a great job in this top lane on the Aatrox.
Yeah, he does have a significant advantage up in that top lane, over 20 CS plus the kill gold over to him. Fortunately, though, for BDSM, they did not lose their bot lane turret, and they get more gold onto the Kaisa. And to be perfectly honest, if you're not losing a huge amount of gold, any gold you can get onto a hypercarry, I would almost say is a win for you in those scenarios.
Definitely. I mean, for right now, it's pretty even in terms of kills, and this is already a roam top lane again.
Oh, but In Your Head has rotated up the top lane. Aerolite does kite it out fairly well, gets a twist advance onto In Your Head, and Fertile Change does miss, but the Q and the Celestial Expansion coming in from In Your Head, securing another kill, and this is the life of Maokai into a lane bully. It's just not a fun place to be.
Hey, why are we talking about this, guys? I'm 0-3 top lane.
I'm 0-3 top lane,
I
20
have
CS
corrupting
in 10 minutes.
I've got corrupting pot, guys. I don't know what to do. But
Oh,
alright.
but Infinite Duress does miss in the mid lane. He's trying to get that Q off the lane of field. Fish just coming on the backside. Ignite as well. So much burst damage as Rui gets eviscerated in the mid lane.
Yeah, great job from Examon to punish the aggression from Ruhi. Missing obviously the ultimate there was a huge unfortunate play there. We do see Admiral Avery though going through the bot side jungle, trying to get some wards and trying to see if there's any camps alive. But again, I think BrainStorm is doing very well with their team comp, executing amazingly with their In Your Head right now.
Yeah, Ruhi really is controlling the tempo of the early game, but the issue is his team as a whole isn't profiting extremely heavily from it, other than Unstable up in that top lane, because yes, you have a 20 CS lead in the top lane, but that's counteracted by the mid lane CS difference, and bot lane, it's even gold essentially, and Kaisa at even gold, like, I take that at any stage of the game.
I mean, early game, obviously, she's going to lose against the Lucian. She wants to definitely get out of this laning phase and away from Lucian for right now until she gets a little bit more fed and she's able to get the camouflage from Supercharger. But one thing that to note is Ruhi, while he is getting his team's advantages, like you were saying, he is also dying in these trades and giving a lot of gold, and some of that, I mean, not necessarily shutdown gold, but he is dying and giving kills over to some of the carries here. So something to note from BrainStorm if you want to slow it down or let Ruhi, back up a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's going to rotate up to this top lane, but Avery is hovering up in this top lane as well. We could see a 2v2 skirmish up in this top lane. Avery initiate, Predator coming in. Nice Crescent Sweep getting the disengage, but the double fear is massive, while the other side of the map, Ward's getting blown up by Examon and still managing to stay alive on the bottom side of the map, reinitiating into the top lane as Arrowite secures the kill. On to Ruhi, Unstable is still alive, is going to get the Infernal Change. In Your Head has rotated down the bot lane, stun laning on Homie. Killer Urchin coming in from Single, gets the double kill on the backside. Stranglehorns is massive, getting a double knockup on the other side of the map. I'm Single is stuck in a 2v1 in the bottom lane, is going to get a shutdown onto In Your Head, does fall in the end while Unstable secures the kill onto Admiral Avery on the other side of the map, and it's just fights, boys. Are you not entertained, chat?
Yeah, I mean, this is basically a trade across every single lane.
Nothing
Unstable.
to see there.
Ooh.
Nothing to see there, guys. You can move on.
He literally, okay, so Ruhi died and then ran all the way back top lane after dying. So that was pretty good. And something to note there was the amount of movement speed that Unstable was getting from World Ender after getting from getting knocked away, made him run really fast away from the rest of the team, or away from Admiral Avery and Aerolite. So that's a little bit of using that movement speed to close gaps and get away from certain targets, and getting the amount of healing that he gets from his E's pretty ridiculous right now.
Oh, gotta love overbuffed numbers here, but they do secure the top lane tier 1. They're looking to press the Herald, while Fish does land once again onto Woodwork, and unfortunately that is just another gray screen for Woodwork. Really not having the best of times on this lane.
Yeah, I mean, this is for right now not looking amazing for BrainStorm. They do obviously they're able to get these fights, and get a little bit of advantages, but it seems like there's constant trading and mid lane.
Voice of Life does come in. Nice Crescent Sweep to buy a little bit of a disengage. TP being channeled by Aerolite. Don't know if that was the best decision to force that TP there.
Well, now they actually have
but they do have the engage coming in on the Rui. Does flash away. We do have grasping Nature's Grasp coming in to buy a little bit of disengage. It does give him zone control to potentially do this Cloud Drake, which looks like is going to end up being secured to even the Drakes 1-1. Ooh, but Turtle is on the flank going with the cuddling. Ruby's going to run into Aerolite. It's a little bit of out of position. He's so much damage. Gets the Q heal coming off Infantry and Terrestrial also coming in, but so much damage coming in from Examon, securing another kill onto Ruhi, and Ruhi's just biting off a little bit more than he can shoot right now.
Yeah, In Your Head has no mana right now, so can't even stay mid lane. Woodwork and Rabbit have to move out of bot lane to try and catch the rest of this mid lane, and while Unstable does have his advantage top lane, it looks like BDSM is just able to rotate and get a lot of these map objectives a lot faster. They did lose the...
Oh, but Avery is well out of position.
Caster Curse. As soon as I say it, it's like, what's the point? But again, they were able to get the first turret there, and obviously they got the Mountain Drake to start, but they need to be able to, BDSM anyway, they need to get these objectives.
But we have a 4-man party down in the bot lane. Double slow from the Vision of Empire. Stun landing onto Homie. Is going to get the Stranglethorns off, but it's just not going to be enough as Iron Single gets a very nice killer instinct to stay alive for just a little bit longer, but the dash and the E coming in from Woodwork securing the kill.
That is a large amount of people off the map now, and now they can press this mid lane, or they can, In Your Head can go back mid.
Fish is going to land onto Unstable, but Chains are going to land onto Airlight. Does have the World Ender going, has so much life, so is it going to land the second or third Q? Is going to go into the passive here. Is going to get a lot of HP back. They're going to get the slowdown from the W. He comes in. Exmon is out of mana. So much damage being traded back from Unstable right now as Admiral Avery is just tanking up the creeps, and he just is able to walk away.
Yeah, this is huge. Unstable is 3 levels over Examon. Well, 2 now, or sorry, Admiral Avery, and he's 2 levels over Examon. So there's already huge base stats coming in. And the fact that he has Merc Treads is helping him immensely in these fights.
Yeah, just a minor point here, as we are going to see this mid lane tier 1 fall. We did also see bot lane tier 1 fall earlier on in that play where we're watching that skirmish up in the top lane, is that every time you level up as a champion in League of Legends, you're getting about 600 gold worth of base stat. So even if you're not fed, just your sheer level advantage that you can have on people can give you 1,800 gold advantage over some people.
Yeah, and obviously you can then increase that with the amount of gold you're already getting, probably from the CS lead you have or even kills that you have. And these are all the outer turrets now gone for the side of BDSM. I mean, this mid game, or this early game into mid game, has looked a little bit bloody for both sides, but it's definitely looking up and up, and this is exactly the win conditions that we were setting up for BrainStorm.
Yeah, they definitely have the tempo where they want to be at. They have about a 4,000 gold advantage at this current stage of the point, and we do have Blood Scent pops by Ruhi. Isn't going to be able to get into any position to get on to Examon, and he is going to face check Airlight, but Airlight's really not in a position to really do anything by himself at this stage of the game.
I like this vision control coming out from BrainStorm. They have a lot of vision on the river. If you look even top side or bot side, a lot of wards being invested, making sure that they can see when people are roaming or when people are going to be rotating around the map. And slowly, as BrainStorm gets more and more control over this map, they should be moving their vision line forward, making sure that they have the entrances to the jungle completely warded, and so they can track all of they can track and stop any kind of attempt of a comeback from BDSM.
Yes, but the thing is that, as we mentioned, their composition is on a little bit of a time bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they are in a good spot in terms of where their gold lead is, but they can't slack off and let. We do have the Blood Scent being popped in the mid lane as Examon blows up Ruhi on the backside of the fight. Stranglepoints is going to knock up Unstable. It's a double kill on the backside for Examon, but massive damage from the explosion coming in from Woodwick. Unstable still quite tanky, doesn't have the World Ender up and just ends up falling, but Rabbit and Turtle is still mostly healthy, but so much damage. Oh, homie is going to burn down to the minions at the end. So in the end, it's an ace for 3 in favor of BDSM.
Triple kill there for Rabbit, but one thing that ended up being the downfall of that team fight is Woodwork goes down so early, not able to get that demonic flare going off. And again, while the demonic flare is going to be a huge part of their team fight,
no, he did get it off.
Oh, he did get it off? He was able to pop it?
Yeah. He got massive chunk of AoE damage.
Okay. Well,
he didn't kill anyone, but
pulling back, Ruhi missing the infinite duress there is a large part of that. It actually hand delivered him to I Am Single and Homie, so I mean, that's a large part of your engage also gone, and we need in your head to be able to use the celestial expansion and put down a lot of poke damage while, you know, other people are getting focused, like Woodwork, like Ruhi, and Unstable not able to get the World Ender to last all the way through that fight was huge.
Yeah, because without that revive, it really impacts his ability to be an effective frontline, because that's where a lot of his usefulness as a frontline champion really comes from, especially because of the fact he's actually not going the Death Dance second, which I have to question.
Yeah, I don't typically see the Tiamat. Obviously, he's probably just going that for a lot more wave clear, utilizing his Q, and the Tiamat might be seeing a Titanic Hydra so you can get auto attack cancels and all that kind of jazz. Maybe trying to utilize his passive a lot more, although it is a 20-second cooldown. They are setting up for this dragon though.
Yes, and we do have Aerolite up in the top lane, has TP available, Sam with Unstable here, so it is going to be a contested dragon here, and considering it is an Air Drake, I don't know if this is the best decision from BDSM to really contest it, because I feel like they could be getting pressure mid lane, pressure top lane right now, and not really trying to contest it. The Air Drake Avery is starting up, eats a little bit of damage coming in from the Air Drake. Air Drake, I believe, is the fastest attack speed Drake, so you do eat a lot of damage trying to take it out.
Yeah, for BrainStorm, this is really good for them as they already have priority in the bot side, and they are losing it now topside as Aerolite has been pushing it out, but for them, it's good that Aerolite is top lane, as with BrainStorm, as long as Aerolite isn't there in the fight, there's a large chunk of CC and their tank stats not there, and they can just sit here and let the waves constantly push, and if BDSM wants to take this fight, they're going to be losing a lot of turret health.
Yeah, and it looks like Aerolite is going to go to reset. They're going to clear out some of this vision that was placed by BrainStorm around the strike. They are going to start it up here, but a juicy double teleports coming in on the backside. Examon does land the fish onto Woodwick, immediately taking on the fight. Unstable, trying to do what he can in a 4v1 in the backline. It's able to secure one kill on the backside of the map as Examon falls on the other side of the map. Kill agent going in on the in your head, gets bursted out by Einsingle. Unstable is still alive, doing so much damage on the other side of the map. Aerolite trying to do it again, trying to tank up for Einsingle as it's a double kill for the guys. So triple kill for the guys who trying to get the quadra kill. Is able to get the quadra kill, as that's another ace for BDSM.
Yeah, despite having a really late TP from Aerolite, about a 2 seconds cooldown, great fight. Taking out Woodwork immediately was a great job from Examon, and while they were able to get a lot of damage using Unstable and the World Ender, right now I Am Single is getting even further ahead and even getting to that Super Kaisa state.
Yeah, and not to underestimate Rabbit and Eternal, both these AD carries essentially have identical score lines, almost identical CS. 1 kill difference between the two of them. There is a slight advantage due to turret gold, but the thing is you always favor Kaisa scaling over Lucian scaling, even with the Essence Reaver coming in next for Lucian.
Man, despite, Aurelion Sol being named, in your head, apparently I Am Single should just rename to in your face. He's literally melee form against him and just completely blowing up, so great job from I Am Single so far. And yeah, right now, especially with the rest of their team, I mean, Aurelion Sol's going to provide a lot of, team fight damage just from the Celestial expansion during team fights, but not that kind of, it's a lot of sustained damage and not a lot of that burst damage, or not the typical amount of damage that you're looking for in a mid laner when you have someone like the Fizz in the late game who can blow up Rabbit Turtle or Woodwork like we just saw.
Yeah, I would say the biggest weakness with the composition that BrainStorm has drafted is really all their burst damage is on Unstable's Aatrox. Like, Aurelion Sol's not big burst damage. I mean, yes, if he full combos someone with the QWR, that's going to do about 75% of his health, but that's all of his cooldowns onto one target. So that's not the best use of his cooldowns, and it's not the same level of burst that, as you said, you get from the Fizz, who can potentially get this multiple rotations of burst out, though it's not that same 100-0 burst, as both teams playing the lovely, lovely Baron dance, and considering In Your Head is in the bot lane without teleport, I have to favor BDSM for positioning right now.
Yeah, obviously the Aurelion Soul can use the Comet of Legend, so he can roam really, really fast, and then he gets a lot of movement speed just from moving in a straight line. One thing I am worried about though is, Woodwork right now on the Swain. We did see, I was predicting it, he wasn't able to get the demonic flare off this time. I was wrong the first time, and now I get it right the second time, and the Woodwork on the Swain.
The lowest level in the game.
Yeah,
by 2 levels.
And as someone on Swain, while not being a traditional mage caster, being someone that's semi-tank somewhat with a typical build at least, something really important is to get those levels so that your ultimate is super huge. And not being able to get the demonic flare, one, because you're a lot lower level, and not being able to get the demonic flare because you're getting bursted immediately is huge, especially when that's also part of your damage profile.
Yeah, but I mean, as I said, he still does have a lot of utility. He actually ended up picking up the Twin Shadows, which I'm actually a big fan of on Skillshot Mage supports, because it makes it a lot easier for the team to execute onto these picks, landing your necessary CC onto specific targets.
I think he should invest 600 gold in a stopwatch. Just real
Yeah,
quick.
That'd probably be a beneficial decision, though, but he doesn't really have item slots.
No, yeah.
Also, just a quick point of fact, by the time you hit 20 minutes, people, you should have Doran's rings, Doran's any items, because they're not gold efficient. You should buy control words. Please, for my sanity as a support maid, sell your Doran's items, buy control words. It makes our lives much easier.
I'm pretty sure In Your Head just picked up the Dark Seal? I don't remember him starting Dark Seal. I think
he didn't. He went Corrupting Pot.
No. Wait, no, because remember I made the comment about him not going Corrupting Pot. So I'm pretty sure he just picked up the Dark Seal now.
Yeah, he started Doran's Ring. Never mind.
So he just picked up the Dark Seal now. I think he's looking to try and get a lot of those glory stacks, but I think it's a bit late to start picking up stacking items like that. But we'll see what happens. Maybe he's predicting. He's got the
he's gonna pop up in the next fight.
Yeah, he's gonna he has the he's got the voice of light. Now he's got the mind of light. He's predicting he's gonna get like this pentakill all of a sudden and get these glory stacks. I'm excited for that part at least.
Yes, and something we should definitely mention is the fact that Avery is the same level as Unstable.
Oh. Yeah, that level lead top lane is slowly decreasing as the rest of BDSM is now catching up, and Unstable having to group with the team and not getting a lot of that solo experience.
Well, Avery's the jungler. He's the highest level on his team, and he's 2 levels up over Ruby. It's a 60 CS advantage in the jungle.
Yeah, Ruby picking up the Tiamat, which helps him farm a little bit faster, but not utilizing it and not getting a lot of that CS, whether it be Captain Avery's taking a lot of his jungle camps, or even just not farming in general to go to these team fights. It's a little bit of a misstep there.
Yeah, so something I do want to mention, though, is that when you're looking to set up these Baron places, you need to make sure you're constantly keeping your side waves under pressure, because right now for BDSM, your top lane is shoving into, your bottom lane is shoving into.
They have to force this,
They are forcing the Baron right now. They are doing a lot of damage to it.
Ruby's in base.
About 7k. Ruby is not there, so it's probably just going to end up being a uncontested free Baron over to BDSM, but can they get out is the real question.
Oh, Flash.
Ooh, we do have the Flash engage onto Unstable. He's immediately taken off the map. Fish just landed onto In Your Head. Flash forward from Axelon. Voice of Light is not enough as Axelon secures the kill.
So, In Your Head Flash there actually ends up knocking Woodwork and forcing his Flash as well.
Ooh, but Turtle trying to go aggressive onto Avery. We do have the Infinite Duress going in onto Homie. Flash Shield is going to keep alive. Rudy's trying to get into range, trying to secure the kill, but it's not enough as Icicle secures the kill. Flash forward from Icicle, securing a double kill at the end.
Yeah, Kaisa has now made it to that point where she's literally unstoppable, and, Unstable not able to get the World Ender, even to get, the revive, and In Your Head getting caught out by the Chum the Waters is huge there.
say what you want about Examon's early game. I don't think he's missed a fish.
No, I don't think you're supposed to win that early game against Aurelian Silk. Instant pushes in. Oh my. Woodwork. I'm sorry.
Woodwork, I'm sorry. The only thing you've been a fan of this game has been the gray screen World Ender passive being proc onto Airlight, who is eating a lot of damage. They are going to be able to keep their base alive for now. Rudy, it does have a massive amount of speed from the blood set. It's going to get stopped by the plants from X-Homie. He's still trying to chase as there's not a lot of HP left, but they really don't have any real positioning. That they do give over a kill onto I'm still securing the godlike kill. Killer Instinct coming in, getting the assassination onto Indian Fed, followed up by the zombies, keeping him alive. I'm Singles just going absolutely massive.
Yeah, something to note there was that In Your Head was using the Voice of Life to try and proc a lot of damage using Leandri's, and while the passive, you know, the tick damage didn't quite go off as planned, that could have ended really badly. They were really low on the side of BDSM.
Yeah, like 3 members maybe had a combined 1,000 hit points between the 3 of them, but considering the fact that if you are BDSM, like, you have 3,300 gold on I'm Single right now. You have 2K on Admiral Avery, who's level 16, highest level in the game, absolutely being a farming madman, taking all the resources he can get his hands on, and considering that's almost a full straight-up death cap from...
Look at Woodwork's damage to Aralite. That's his full combo EQW right there. And that was about, like, what, like
500 damage to a champion who has 0 MR.
Yeah, not looking amazing for him, but
Ooh,
again,
nice. That relentless pursuit from Rabbit as Exmon finally misses a fish. Does still have a lot of damage, but Unstable is on the backside. But the snipe with the W. I'm Single. You are disgusting.
Nice Void Seeker coming out for him, and you know, I'm pretty sure Exmon heard you say that he hasn't missed a fish yet, so you know,
yeah, it was Caster Curse. It had to go.
You know, you had to do it to him, so. Just take a turret! Look at this! It doesn't matter if you lose early game, boys. You can just play Maokai and you just brain dead, go top lane, and you just tank turret for like 10 years. I love that. I am Single 15-3. Disgusting.
I mean, when your team gets 2 aces pre 25 minutes in team fights, it's another fish lands onto Woodwork. Wait, was there a Swain there, guys? I think I need to call Riot to confirm whether or not there was actually a Swain.
I'm pretty sure there was a bug. I don't think Chill the Waters went the full distance. I don't think there was any unit there to stop it, so...
Yeah, we can please confirm here as BDSM is going to secure another victory here. Kill goal on the next, going over to I'm Single. GG.
A lot, so well played from BDSM, despite the early game going in favor of BrainStorm. And they got the Kaisa so far ahead, and obviously Examon, he bided his time. He said, alright guys, look, I'm not going to win this early game, it's Aurelian Soul. He's obviously going to just perma-push the wave, and I can't do anything about that, but you know, they're able to group in the end, and BDSM taking a really strong victory here. Really convincing.
I just want to say that Examon and I'm Single did 52,000 damage between the 2 of them, and nobody on the other team did more than 19,000.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, like, that was a very well executed double carry coming in from Examon and I'm Single, but we can't underestimate the impact that Admiral Avery had. He had a lot of very excellent ganks in the game league. Same over to Ruhi, but my issue with Ruhi is I felt like he kind of forgot to farm.
Yes, he definitely fell behind due to the fact that he's falling behind already as he was going for kills and they were getting these really good dives, but he was also trading his death, giving Captain Avery a lot of time in the jungle and on the map, because with Ruhi now off the map due to death timers or just taking really bad trades and having to back, they lost the Baron, and it allowed Captain Avery to get large farm leads in gold.
Also, we apologize to Avery. We didn't mean to devote him from admiral to captain. We apologize for that.
Oh, my bad. Respect.
It's all good. It's all good. But we are going to take a short little break before we are back for our final game of the night here. Please stay tuned, as I believe it is BMO Commandos taking on...
It is BMO Commandos versus Illumination Empire.
Illumination. Sorry, I couldn't remember the other two. That's why I just play to talk and not know these behind the scenes stuff. But anyway, people, we're taking a short break. Stay tuned.
Ask not the sun why she sets, why she shrouds her light away, or why she
And welcome back, everyone, to our final game of the evening here at Overdrive Week number 5 Platinum Division. We have Illumination Empire taking on BMOS Commandos, who have been riding a little bit of a struggle bus here so far this season, but it's always a good time to start a winning streak. Alongside me, once again, is McBree. We had a very interesting first game for the two of us, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, very bloodbath. Especially with the Aatrox top lane getting a lot of leads, but yeah, it was a super fun game to watch and definitely to cast.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see where these picks and bans are going to go to, if I can use my words here tonight, as we did talk a little bit about this mid laner for Illumination, who is infamous, to say the least, for his champion pool.
Yeah, especially with the last game that they played tonight. Sorry, they put him on the Wukong, and it wasn't the greatest performance. Sale not putting on his dancing shoes, not doing amazingly. So if they can grab this talent for him, I think that this will be a more even game at least.
You were saying?
Oh, there goes a talent. My heart hurts just a little bit. This should still be a fun game. I mean. I'm hoping they maybe switch him off of the Wukong, or even, maybe he gets a better performance on the Wukong. I am looking forward to seeing how BMO's Commandos are going to do, as Illumination did take a loss recently, the last game that they did play, so maybe there's a little bit of a mental boom there, and maybe Team BMO's can take initiative and get a little bit more motivation to try and take this game.
Ooh, they're actually taking away both of Sale's top two champions.
Yikes.
Okay, I'm trying to. I actually need to go look, because I actually can't remember.
Is he just AFK mid lane? I mean, he plays like Vlad and Fizz, so we might see the TF.
Fizz, TF. Echo is actually the one I would put my bet on based on his win rates.
Mm-hmm.
Baby is once again going to be picking up that Graves in the jungle, so I am a fan of seeing that, as Graves, I think we all agree, is a broken jungler right now, with just the sheer amount of damage and speed and the amount of pressure he can put out in that jungle position.
I'm more of a proponent for Kindred jungle, as that champion wins every 1v1 trade possible in the jungle. And, I mean, there's a little bit of RNG with your marks going off, so you're really hoping that, your jungle clear ends up being in the same path as your mark, especially on the scuttle. But for right now, I think Kindred level 3 ends up beating a lot of other junglers.
Yeah, but you always do need to be worrisome about Kindred, because if you ever initiate a trade with some of your spells on cooldown, as we're seeing trying to introduce the end to some people picking up that Nocturne, while Handsome Jack is picking up one jacked up dude in the top lane, picking up the Darius.
Yeah, I mean, Darius Nocturne, that right there is going to be a delicious combo top lane. And we do see the Braum being taken by Baby and the side of Illumination Empire. Right now, I mean, the Nocturne's going to be super influential. That basically means that there's going to be one person on Illumination who's, hopefully, if everything goes to plan for BMO's, is just going to disappear from the game. And there we go, the second Aatrox.
Yes,
Woo!
But where is the Aatrox going? That is the mystery game. Please stay tuned here at Overdrive League to find out the answer to that question here. We also see the Braum most likely going to backpack in that bottom lane here. So I'm kind of liking where both these teams going, but I love the Brand pick into Braum, though. That's one of my favorite matchups to play as a support main, because there really isn't much Braum can do to Brand. I mean, yes, he can block the Pyroclasm, but Brand is dumpsters. Yes, losing's about the only option without jungle intervention.
Is this the part where we complain about jungle difference, or do we wait till 15 minutes?
Actually, if you watch as much high elo streams as I do, some of them start complaining at 10 minutes about how they should be able to surrender at 10 minutes.
Is this Korean solo queue? Jesus. It's probably just silver anyway, but I mean, just looking at the bans, we do see already 280 caravans being taken away from BMOS.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of mid lane, a lot of AD carries. We have Pantheon, Shyvana, Lucian, and Ezreal being taken away by Illumination Empire, while on the other side we're seeing Jax, Talon, Wukong, Kassadin, and Echo, they really don't want Sail playing an assassin.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you do have the Aatrox that could possibly be flex mid lane with that, keeping the smite mid lane. Great job from them. I mean, it is really hard to try and, predict where this Aatrox is going to go. He can go top, he can go mid, but taking away something like an Echo kind of pigeonhole Sail into playing something like this.
Yeah, going through Sail's master history, he has 0 games on Aatrox for the last 2 weeks. So it's
Smurfs,
most
baby. Smurfs.
Yes, second accounts are always entirely possible. We can't ever discount that, but it's probably going to UR being muted in the top lane for that Aatrox. And we're gonna see one of the strongest AD carries for God knows how long, Xayah going to Bing Bong.
Yeah, I mean, you being able to use just having an AD carry who can take control of such a large field of power, being able to manipulate those feathers and having a disengage ultimate, and that right there just gives an AD carry such agency to roam around the map and make a lot of plays in team fights. The Vladimir though,
that is one of his champions he has available to. Has played a lot of. I mean, it's not the greatest mid lane champions, but the thing about Vladimir is you can always sustain up extremely effectively in pretty much any matchup. And we're going to see a little bit of chime action coming into the bottom lane from back.
Woo! It's funnel, baby. Oh my God, they have Bard. Is this gonna be like a Bard offlane?
No, it's gonna be Graves and Braum doing the funnel with Vid and jungle, Aatrox top, and then Vladimir and Bard in the bottom.
Interesting.
And it's actually Brand mid.
Ooh.
Which I actually do like. Brand actually has a lot of wave clear with the WE combo, so he can exert a lot of pressure. And I'm always a fan of seeing supports pick up my personal favorite champion, even though I can't win games on him, Thresh.
Yeah, Thresh is going to be a large proponent on how they win this bot lane. Obviously, Braum can break it and, stop the engagement, but I'm interested to see how this Nocturne is going to be able to get around the map. A lot of squishy targets for elimination here. I mean, you have someone like the Bard.
I just feel like if you're Nocturne, if you're Brand, this is like going to like an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yeah, I mean, you only really have one tank, and the team fight from Illumination's really scattered. I mean, you do have Aatrox who's going to be able to...
They have a lot of skirmishing, though.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get these lanes ahead, and that is Braum, last second taking taking exhaust there, so it looks like it is going to be a Bard mid, maybe? Or
no, it's funnel. It's funnel.
Okay, so funnel. So they're just gonna be able to catch the catch wave.
Yeah. So.
Wait a minute.
What's actually happening, if I'm reading this properly, is we have Yor being needed taking the Aatrox on top lane. We're having Baby and Bronze Gatekeeper playing Graves and Braum doing the funnel. We have Sail and Backpack actually rotating down into the bottom lane, playing the bot lane carry and support duo down.
I'm really scared for this, as someone like Bard allows for so much roaming potential. Obviously, you get the Meeps, who gives you mana and a lot of movement speed, and that portal that can just take you across terrain super, super fast is going to be very, very influential, at least in the early to mid game.
The only concern is, as everyone should know if they watch LCS, is the vulnerability of Vlad level 1 and level 2.
Alright, Double Lift.
Hey, I have to bring it up, man. I'm sorry, Double Lift. I know you're never going to see this, but...
Something I like about Illumination is the funnel being brought up against BMOs. It is, as we see in chat, Platinum Funnel lull. Brand, at least early, doesn't have a lot of wave clear from what I remember.
Yes, he needs to hit about level 5.
Yeah, without tanking his mana immediately.
Yeah, like level 5, get a blasting one early. I actually think is going to be the best bet for Galbi to really try to shove the wave properly, because once you get blasting one on Brand, you can shove the wave extremely quickly. You stack it, you W all the minions, you E, follow up. You can clear them extremely quickly. But again, it's very, very risky to be playing a mobile mage in the mid lane. As you said, they've got Bard, Braum, and Graves, and that can blow up a brand almost instantaneously.
Yeah, and this is just going to allow them to constantly bounce these waves without a heavy shove mid laner. The wave is going to slowly push into their turret on the other side of Illumination, and that just allows this allows Baby and Sail this just allows Baby to constantly move through the jungle and then come mid, pick up a large amount of XP and gold, then move back to the jungle. And I'm just interested to see how introducing on this Nocturne is going to be able to play around that.
Yeah, and something I do want to talk about real quick is we did talk about a little bit off stream about this Aatrox Darius matchup.